Hi, everybody. This is Christy Whitman, and welcome to the Quantum Success Show, where you can get your information and inspiration to create your desires. And I am so excited today. If you haven't noticed, I've got a friend with me, and Natalie Ledwell. Thank you so much for being here, Natalie. So excited.
Thanks, Christy. It's an absolute pleasure to be here, darling.
Yay. You're my first friend on the show, so I'm very, very excited. Very honored to see you.
I'm very honored as well.
Good. Well, I'm so excited to introduce everybody to you. I like to call my community my family. So family, meet Natalie. Natalie, meet my family. And okay. Natalie is the author of a fabulous brand new book, Never in Your Wildest Dreams, and she's the co-founder of Mind Movies, so many of you might know her from that. She empowers people all around the world to achieve their dreams by creating a personal digital vision board, which I love, or a mind movie, to invoke the principles of the law of attraction. In 4 short years, she, along with her husband, wonderful man Glenn, and her business partner Ryan Higgins, built a multi-million-dollar online business. And they currently have reached over 1.2 million people with their positive message. And Natalie also has an online TV show, which you must check out. It's the Inspiration Show that organically attracts between like 10,000 viewers per show, and is the creator of the amazing programs like 7 Secrets to Happiness and the Ultimate Success Masterclass. So Natalie, welcome, and we are talking about limiting beliefs today.
Yes, I know. A subject very close to my heart.
Yes.
I know. See, it's so funny when we talk about limiting beliefs and, having these sabotaging thoughts that hold us back. The unusual thing about it, or the thing that's most common, is that we don't realize that we have them. Most of us, because these thoughts are such, common, thoughts that go through our mind, and they're so normal and natural to us, we don't actually realize that they're sabotaging us from our success, which was the case with me. I actually accidentally found out that I had one, a limiting belief around money, and once I had it cleared, it was like, oof, look out, world.
Yeah. That's wonderful. And that's a great point to bring up, because I know a lot of people want to know, like, how do you clear limiting beliefs? So do you have like a quick tip that you could give us that maybe you use to help you get to where you were to where you are now?
Absolutely. You know what, for me, I think the first thing, it's really important that you actually identify what they are. Because like I said, we'll often set a goal in a certain area of life, whether it be around money or health or, finding your perfect partner, whatever it is. But for some reason, we always seem to be pipped at the post, or we just never seem to be able to get there. And what we don't realize is it's the thoughts that come up for us that keep telling us why we can't do it. We might set ourselves a lofty goal of, earning $10,000 a month, but we never seem to get there, and we don't know why. It's because these thoughts keep coming up for us. So what I really recommend for most people is that once you're striving for a goal, which is probably the time when these thoughts will come up the most, either use the little app that's on your phone, like the Notes app, or get a little pen and paper and carry it around with you, and take a note of these thoughts as they come up for you. All the reasons why you can't be earning $10,000, all the reasons why you can't actually achieve your goal. And then at the end of the day, sit down and have a look at these and just go, okay, because remember, life is a series of choices, and where we are in the direction of our life depends on the choices that we make. So we could choose to not have these thoughts anymore. We can choose to change these to thoughts that are going to be more empowering and that will actually help us to create the goal that we want. So what I normally recommend is that you look at these thoughts and go, okay, well, these are the thoughts that I don't want. So what are the thoughts that I do want? And change them into a positive affirmation. If let's say, for example, a thought that comes up for you is, well, look, I can't make $10,000 a month because I don't know how. Well, so the positive affirmation of that, or the thought that you would have instead, would be, I seek out ways to create $10,000 a month. I easily learn how to create $10,000 a month. Another really good thing to do here is think about what successful people think. What are the thoughts that they're thinking? They're not thinking, oh my God, how am I going to pay the bills this month?
Right.
They're thinking, how do I make more? So think about those type of thoughts as well. And the thing is, the reason these older thoughts are in our mind is because they're there through repetition. And the best way to reprogram our mind and create new neural pathways for these new thoughts is through repetition. So if you're focusing on these every day and visualizing what life is like now that you're thinking these new thoughts and that you're creating this income for yourself, or you're creating this new body, or you've attracted that perfect partner. The more that you do that, the more you trick your subconscious mind into thinking this is your new reality. And so then all of your actions become in alignment with your thoughts. You start to act as if you already have these things, and next thing you know, it is your reality and you've manifested them for yourself.
Absolutely. And that's what I love about the law of attraction, is a lot of times we don't have to go searching and sifting for what are my limiting beliefs. You can look in your outer reality, and law of attraction is going to reflect everything back from your beliefs. So if you're finding yourself limited somewhere, whether it's relationships, your body, your finances, whatever the case may be, it's going to show up. There's evidence of it all the time. So yes. I love what you're saying, because we could just look at our reality, and if it's a situation with money, for example, and we're not creating or attracting what we want, we're not getting to that certain level of success that we want, it's that opportunity to really look at, okay, taking total responsibility. I yes. create my reality. What is the universe reflecting back to me based on my limiting beliefs? Some beliefs are fantastic. Look at what I'm creating, but some of them are limiting me in what I want to do or get to my next level. What are they? So let's identify them, and then let's replace them.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it's not your fault that you think these thoughts. Yeah. I mean, most of the programming that we pick up, really, we picked up when we were young children. Between the ages of 2 and 6, we're in what we call predominantly theta brainwave activity. So we're sponges, and it's part of our natural evolution. So we're in this mode where we are looking to our parents and our siblings and all the adults around us, and we're not only listening to what they say, but we're looking at their behavior. And so this is when we're learning how to act, respond, and to think about anything, like our self-image, our confidence, money, like any of those type of things. And so as a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old, we observe a situation, we take on our perspective of it, then it becomes our truth, and then with that programming through repetition then becomes part of our behavior. I actually, I was, how I found out I had one about money. I was creating a product or a video with a friend of ours in Australia, and she had to do this process on camera, getting rid of a limiting belief. And I'm like, she said, Natalie, you'll have to be my guinea pig. And I'm like, I don't even have a limiting belief. I've got myself together. I'm good. And she said, okay, well, why don't we just use money, because most people have something about money. And I'm like, okay. So she actually went through this series of questions with me and went into my subconscious mind. And I actually recalled an incident that happened when I was 5 years old, where this kid was teasing me at school. But it was a kid that obviously had money. So my observation was, well, if you've got money, you're a horrible person. And of course, I'm from a big family. And we weren't poor, but as you can imagine, money was pretty tight. So any stress in the household was always about the lack of money. So that kind of just reinforced my observation as a 5-year-old. Now, I'm not saying that what I picked up as 5 is true. That was just my observation of it, my perception of it.
Right.
And then, of course, your subconscious mind wants to always prove yourself right. So then anytime some kind of situation would come up about money in my life, it would actually affect or taint the way that I perceived that situation, because my subconscious mind had to be right the whole time. And I remember once I come to this realization that I had this limiting belief, I was like, wow, it's like dominoes in my mind, all these different decisions that I'd made that was incongruent with that belief. And it was so relieving. It was like, a big weight had been lifted off my shoulders. And it's so funny. My husband went and goes, see, it was your fault that we weren't successful at this time. And I'm not saying I'm taking the responsibility for it, but I can say that after I did that clearing, that was in February of 2008. In September of 2008 was our big launch of My Movies, and we've had our most successful years since then. So
yeah,
it definitely says something for being able to recognize, don't beat yourself up that you have these thoughts, because we all have something.
Absolutely.
Just identifying them, what they are, and then choosing something different can really help to release that for you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for that discussion. I love that. And it's so true. It's like, if you want to get to your next level, if you want to attract something different in your life and you're not, look at what those, that situation is, and look for the limiting beliefs, and then really figure out, what are you saying to yourself, and then what can you change? And what happens is, energetically, everything's energy, right? It's like you bust that energy. And then when you're bringing in that new information, like you said, there's so much to it. There's neural pathways, there's that feeling sense, but it's like, it's the energy you bring through, and you start owning that I make unlimited amounts of money. and you start stepping into that. And the more every single time you say an affirmation and you're in that energy, there are cells that are literally birthed into that new affirmation, and that becomes your reality. So maybe overnight, you're not a new, different person. You have like loads of money coming in. Like you were saying, it was February, and look, September, it was like, boom, total different reality for you, and it's continued to go up since.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. And even something simple like, whenever Glenn and I would ever have a discussion about money, because, before my movies, we were struggling financially. And every time we would have a discussion, it would always be a stressful situation. And it wasn't until I went through this clearing that I realized all I was doing is emulating my parents' behavior, because that's what I saw. That's, and even, coming to that realization really cleared up, so that rather than when we talk about money being a stressful situation and having all this negative vibration around it, we can completely change that. And it was always something positive. We had this positive vibration. And of course, with our business, it's, we are, even from the beginning, our number one focus was, well, how do we serve? How do we make this product better? How can we help more people? And which was a major contributing factor to that as well. But if I didn't have that clearing, then I wouldn't have been open to that either.
Absolutely. So tell me about what your next, venture is right now, and I'm so excited. Everybody has got to pick up a book. There's a link underneath this video so that you can go and order Never in Your Wildest Dreams from Natalie. So tell us a little bit about your book.
The book I'm really excited about. Because we have a fairly big community online. Like you said, we've reached over 1.2 million people already. And I was trying to think of a way that we could reach more people, maybe offline, and come up with the idea of the book. And when I actually met with some publishers, the advice that they gave me was to write a fiction. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm a bit of a how-to girl. I don't know if I can do that. That's interesting. Because, books like The Celestine Prophecy and The Way of the Peaceful Warrior were written as fiction. I'm like, okay, so there was quite a process into writing this, but it was really interesting. By the time I actually sat down and I had my full outline and I knew where I was going, it only took me 2.5 weeks to write the book.
Wow.
So I had this massive dump, like a download coming.
Yeah.
And I can remember even writing, and I'd be typing something going, oh my God, this is so good. Like, oh, wow, this is fantastic. And the book itself, the fiction, the story is awesome. It's, a woman that's on a press junket. She's created this incredible movie that's making a difference around the world, and she's going through these different life lessons. I actually had the idea watching HBO one night. If you watch the show, sometimes they go, stay behind because inside the episode is coming up after the show, and they talk about what the character's going through and so forth. So I'm like, I could do that with the book. So at the end of each chapter, we have like a URL or a QR code where you can go through to a video, and it's me going inside the chapter. So we're talking about, the life lesson that the character's going through, and, how that applies to your life and how you can implement this. We'll also give away lots of, gifts and different, exercises, worksheets and things that really help you to implement the knowledge, because, Glenn and I, we live a life beyond our wildest dreams. And the reason that we went from struggling financially to this amazing life that we have is because we applied the knowledge that we knew, and that's what made all the difference. So I think I don't think I've ever seen anyone combine fiction and how-to together. But the cool thing is that the book on its own is awesome, and you'll get so much information out of it. The videos on their own are so awesome. You can get the same amazing information, but the combination of the two really steps everything up to the next level and really sets the reader up for success, because you actually know exactly what it is that you have to do to be able to implement the information.
I love that. It's like interactive. So even though they're buying a book, they're purchasing a way to really connect with you at a deeper level and take the information in the book deeper. And if one medium is reading, some people like to watch videos and kind of get that information too. So I love how you're combining all that. So I highly recommend Natalie's book, Never in Your Wildest Dreams. Natalie, you're amazing. I appreciate you being my first guest ever on the Quantum Success Show. And I wish you just so much wild success with this book. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Christy. It's been wonderful being here.
Thank you.